So with the sun out and the weather very hot, it's going to be 35 degrees today. I thought I'd just do a little video that concentrated totally on the air conditioning, because a lot of people have been asking questions, and one of my other videos had quite a few views on it, but it was also covering things like brakes and that, so I thought I'd just do a dedicated one for the air conditioning. So this is a 12 volt air conditioner. It was DIY'd, installed by me. It's very easy to do. It just involved cutting a hole in the cab roof, actually smaller than a conventional 40 by 40 centimeter vent. It doesn't actually need to be that big, but yeah, just cut the hole in the vent in the roof there. It screws on. It doesn't need any spaces, it doesn't need any support or anything, and it just sits up there. And as we get into the van, you'll see the inside of it, which is so that's the inside of the unit, and these are all adjustable, so we can turn those to direct them. And the big advantage of this, of course, is that it's fed from the lithium battery that I've got. You could possibly run it for a short time on a lead acid, an AGM leisure battery, but really it needs to be on a lithium battery because it pulls 60 amps. So at full blast, if you're not supporting it with solar panels, then you're going to get into a position where it's just dragging the battery down, and as soon as you start pulling large currents from the battery, you're going to end up with a slight problem of lower voltage. So it'll kick the thing will kick out when the voltage gets too low. So let's just have a quick look at it coming on. So we've got a panel here. I've also got a remote control that comes with it, so we don't need to be doing that, but let's just put it on. Oh, thank you. And that's now kicking in. So you'll hear that as being just normal air conditioning noise. It's not too loud. But the advantage in the van, of course, is that we can do this while we're driving. I can drive down the road with the air conditioning on, and of course this is an old 1983 Renault Traffic, and one of the things it never had was, of course, air conditioning. So now we've got air conditioning in the cab, and that's running on fan level 4, so it's not even on full blast just yet. But let me just show you what the noise is like on the outside, because it's actually very quiet. If I just shut this door. So I don't know how much that will come across, but it's actually quite quiet. It's not going to disturb anybody who's sat inside their van, and in fact I could probably move away from it very slightly and the noise just disappears completely. So yeah, it's even quieter than the tick over of the engine. So that's the unit. I'll try and put some pictures up of the installation, because I took some video of that as well. But it brings the temperature down inside the van. So at the moment I think the van is around, let's do a quick check. Let's check one thing up there. 37. So this is now blowing ice cold air. That is actually very cold, and these are adjustable, as I said, so that passengers could be sitting here and just directed onto the face as if it was a cab air conditioner. But yeah, very, very good, and for the money, just I wouldn't say unbelievable, but just very, very good value for money. It just goes to show how some of these companies are perhaps ripping us off with brand names. It's obviously a no brand name, came from Amazon. Cost me about 330 euros, and then I think I paid €65 to have it refilled with the gas, because they are shipped by law with no gas. So there's a few people who commented saying, oh, this doesn't work, it's got no cooling capacity, and the reason for that primarily is that they forgot to put the gas in. Instructions are very basic, doesn't really help, you have to use a bit of common sense, but it's so simple. Cut the hole, put the foam trim around the outside, seal it with a bit of Sikaflex, put the top unit on, and then these are just 4 bolts that go through on rods, so you just adjust these to the right depth, and that's it. It comes with a cable, it comes with an inline fuse, connect that through a switch into the lithium battery so that you can always isolate it, just a safety feature. And Bob's your uncle, you've got air conditioning in your van. I would say that this is a 5.5 metre. We're quite small, as you can tell. Don't have a lot of space in here. This is perfectly adequate, even in the temperatures that we're getting at the moment, which are up in the high 30s. It is very, very good. A bigger van might struggle. You might need to just use it in maybe a bedroom or something like that, where you could pull the curtains across. I've got curtains here if I needed to. I could just pull those across and turn this into an ice box at the front if that's what we really wanted to do. But I can't say enough about them. Extremely good. Just remember, they need to be filled with gas before you install them. Right, that's all it was really, just a quick focused on this particular model. As I said, comes from Amazon. I'll put a link in the description for you if you want. It came very quickly. It took about 7 or 8 days for it to arrive here in France. Don't know what the delivery is like in the UK. But yeah, so it just connects to the lithium battery. Now I'm supporting it with 400 watts of solar on the roof, so that does drop the amp requirements down quite a lot. Say at maximum speed, when the compressor's running, it pulls 50 amps, but with the solar on, that comes down to about 26 amps. With my battery, which is 314 amp hour, it gives me the opportunity to run this for a good 8 or 10 hours without worry. If you've got DC charging or a good electrical hookup, if you're connected to the mains, then obviously a good charger will just keep pace with this anyway. You could just run it indefinitely on electric hookup. Okay, thanks for watching. Hopefully this has been of any help. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments, I'll answer them. I do check every comment. And yeah, good luck and enjoy the summer sunshine. Bye for now. So we're starting with the air conditioner today. So just making sure that it's going to fit okay, and that looks to be perfect. It's just a cover up there at the moment, obviously. But I'm going to have to measure this up now to cut the hole, which is going to be fine. I don't want to leave it too close to the front edge, but I've also got these channels so that I'm going to pad the gap with foam first of all, and then I'm going to put the main seal around it, and then Sikaflex all the way around that to seal it. And yeah, let's go and measure this up and get it sorted. So I mean, it should look quite nice actually. It's not as high profile as I was expecting before I bought it. When it arrived, I was quite surprised. But yeah, that seems to be just what we need. So right, let's get that sorted and marked up, and get the drill out and jigsaw and start cutting the roof. Bit of a challenge, but I need to just make sure the wires on the inside aren't going to get cut as well, because I did put some wires going down to the dash cam, so they need to be relocated. So I'll do those first of all, and then start work. I'll show you step by step. So I'll see you shortly. Okay, so I've just measured the distance from the front edge to where the start of the hole needs to be, which is 12 centimeters. And then these are the cables. So I've just taken the tie wraps off of there. And I need to take these off because we need to feed these wires up through. So what I'm going to do is have a separate hole, which is going to come up here in the roof in order to feed these cables through. So in order to do that, just need to take these off. So we're just going to, no, we're not going to do that because that's far too tight. Right, I'll go and get a finger out of the way. I'm going to get a wrench to a socket to take these off. And then these will come up through the bottom so they're all out of the way. And then that can be properly sealed as well. So let me just go and get the wrench. And yeah, should be good. Right. Back in a sec. So that's those loosened off. I can just take those off of there. There's one. Keep that to one side. And two. And I'm just hoping those, oh, it's okay, they're all right. So those little wires need to be connected in at the same time. Unfortunately, it's actually printed at the bottom there, positive and negative, and there's a little cover to go over the top of it. So that's the compressor. It's what they call a scroll compressor. Meant to be quite efficient. The evaporator is under this polystyrene box. And that has the fans underneath it drawing the cold air through. And then this is the condenser, same as on the car, on a car radiator. So this will have the fan running permanently in order to keep the air cooled, so to keep the refrigerant turning back to a liquid. And then it goes back into the compressor, gets compressed again. The gas gets compressed into a liquid. Liquid comes through, in through the valves, into the evaporator, gets really, really cold, air goes through it, cools down. Basically the principles of an air conditioner, all in one unit. And yeah, we'll run those cables there underneath and sort them out later. Keep those screws and that to one side. And right, let's go cut some holes. So up on the roof now. So I've just marked with a piece of tape the front edge of where I'd like this to be. So I now know that I've got to come back 12 centimeters from that in order to create the hole. And that gives me a little bit of wiggle room if I need to. So take that off. Solar panels. So there's my tape. So I'll just come back 12 centimeters. And then that's going to give me the hole that I need. It's a bit further forward than I would have liked. I would have preferred it to have been back here, but it is what it is. So let me mark all that out now, get some tape down, and then we'll get the drill and the jigsaw out to start cutting that hole. But let me measure it all up first. So back soon. So what I've done in the past, of course, you probably saw in an earlier video, is to put this insulation up, which is fine. It'll just cut out through it. But I do have these cables which run along here, which are going to get chopped with the saw. So I just need to pull this cable back through and relocate it slightly. So we'll get that done, and then we can start drilling. So I'm going to lay some blankets down inside, stop all of the bits of metal coming in here, and then drill a pilot hole using a Sharpie on the roof to make the shape. Is 25 by 41. It's going to be 26 by 42 to give me a little bit of wiggle room. And yeah, the actual vent unit is going to be up here, so quite forward, but that's okay. It'll have vents on it, so we'll see how it gets on. Right, I'll be back shortly when I've made some holes in this. Right, okay, so I just chased the wires back. They come out here, and I left a little bit of an extra loop in the USB cable, so that should be fine to go around the air conditioning unit with enough length without needing to chop it and change it again. Anyway, I think that's all we need. There's nothing else up here, So drill a hole, start cutting. So I shall see you when I'm back on the roof. Right, that's the marked out for the cut. I'm going to put a drill hole through into each corner, and then we'll get the jigsaw with the metal blade on it, trim that out, and hopefully that will fit. Yeah, of course it's going to fit. Right, let's get some holes drilled. I think this is what they call the point of no return. Holes are drilled through the roof, so we've got some extra ventilation in the cab at the moment. What I would recommend is, if you're thinking of doing this, now's the time to do it. It's already getting quite warm out here. We're about 22 degrees today, and it's baking upon the roof, so I can't imagine doing this when we hit the heat of the summer and it's in its 30s. So yeah, good time of the year to get this done. Still got a bit of a breeze blowing, but that sun is already getting a bit warm. But we are in the southwest of France, but it's not a job you want to be doing when it's 34, 35 degrees outside. Okay, I'm going to go get the jigsaw. Right, that's the jigsaw with the metal blade, very, very fine toothed. So now we should just be able to run that in there. Don't have it too fast. Line it up. As they say, is too easy, just like knife through butter. I'm gonna have to do this two-handed. My line wasn't particularly straight, but I do have some leeway, so not too worried about that. But anyway, let me just do these other 3 cuts, and we'll then get it cleaned up and a bit of paint on it. I have to say, I'm very glad I put the blanket down inside. This makes a bit of a mess. Anyway, last cut. It is. Okay, 1 panel removed. Got to get this edge now cleaned up, get the file on it, and then get some paint on it, and then we can start installing. But looking good. Right, I'm just going to go and sand the edges. Got some wet and dry on a piece of board just to clean them up, and then I'm just using the Hammerite. I'm sorry this is a bit of a long-winded video. Let me know in the comments if it's too much, but I thought with something like this somebody might actually want to see the absolute step-by-step instructions, so hopefully it's not too boring, but I'd rather just make sure it's showing everybody exactly what's needed, or at least the way I've done it. I'm assuming it's almost correct. Follow the instructions. But anyway, let me know if it's too long-winded. But I'm going to start sanding and painting. See when it's done. So that's what it looks like now. The edges are all painted. Just going to wait for that to dry, and then it gets padded out with some foam rubber and then sealed around the edges of that, and then we drop the unit into the roof and then run the cabling. So the cabling is going to come back along here and then down to the battery box, which I might do before anything else, because all I need to do then is just run the cables into the air conditioner. So I might just sort those out in the meantime after I've had a bit of lunch. So yeah, nice blue sky up there, look, almost like a sunroof. Anyway, that's the next job, but I do need to get the headlining back in and then mark that out where we're going to cut it, ready for that to be reinstalled as well. Do that at the same time. So right, I'll be back after I've had something to eat. So I need to just do a bit of rerouting of this cable for the dash cam, and then this is the headlining, which I've recovered. So I've got to get this up as well, and I'm going to use the adhesive glue, and then there's some clips as well which we're going to use. So yeah, let's just get this in place, and then I'm going to come down from the top. I can mark it and then we can cut it and make space for that. Right, let's get it up there. Well, that's one job that would have been better with two people, because it's contact adhesive, of course, so when it's stuck, it's stuck. So trying to align it, and I'm not sure I've got it 100% right. Oh, it looks okay, but maybe it could have been aligned a bit better. But sure, I'll be able to sort out whatever we need to do to it to fix it. I think this back edge should have been further inside this channel, but I'll find a strip that'll go down the back there just to disguise that. But the rest of it looks okay. Nice addition. All right, now I need to go and cut a big hole in it. So up on the roof and get the jigsaw again using the fine tooth blade. Should go through that no problem. And then we'll see how we get on. Right, I shall be back. So I've had the secret to this is put a drill hole through it first of all, and then get a brand new utility knife blade, and then follow the line down, cut the section out the middle there so you can actually get your fingers up. And now I'm going to finish up the rest of it from the top. But the secret is a brand new utility knife blade to cut through without tearing it. Right, that's the hole all trimmed up now, and now I've just put some neoprene foam, which is closed cell waterproof, so I've just filled the channels with those pieces you can just see there. Now I'm going to go and put some Sikaflex in to seal those, and then we're going to put the foam on that was supplied with the air conditioner, and again we're going to Sikaflex that, so we've got to make sure that there is absolutely no leaks. Now that's kind of crucial, because if you imagine, as we're driving along at 80 kilometers an hour and it's raining, there's going to be a lot of force to try and push water, especially up this front end up here. So it's imperative that this is well sealed before we start putting the air conditioner on the top there. So getting up there with the tube of Sikaflex and the foam, we'll make sure that that's going to be as watertight as it possibly can be. So see you in a bit. Okay, so that's the seal in place. And as you can see, lots and lots of Sikaflex 522. Can't turn it around. There it is, 522. And I'll probably put a bit more around it as well. I've just had to pad out the dimples with that neoprene seal. But I think by that time that compresses all the way down, because it's going to be a sandwich. It should seal quite nicely, but the front edges are where I'm most concerned, so might just give that a little bit more, and then we should be good to go. So next job is to get it up on the roof. Fortunately, it's not too heavy, so we should be okay. Right, I'll see you in a second. Wow. So it's in place. It might not be heavy, but it's awkward getting up a ladder with it. Could have done with somebody's help, but never mind. It's up there now, so now I just need to make sure it's aligned properly inside, get the bolts in, and screw it down to compress these seals. So let's have a look what it looks like inside. Not sure how Off I am. Actually, yeah, just need to go a bit further back. That's fine. Right, let's get it in there. Get the screws and bolts in and see what it looks like. So the threaded bar is inserted, and then these cross brackets go in place and we slowly tighten down. And the only other thing to remember is that at the back of the air conditioner, there are 2 rubber feet. They don't tell you about them in the instructions, but you should really put those on before you install the air conditioner, otherwise you can't get them in. So if you do one of these, just check to see whether you've got 2 support feet. Essentially they're just rubber feet on a threaded bar. You insert them into a couple of captive nuts on the back of the air conditioner, and they just support the back. We'll just take the weight off it, and basically you install it by tightening everything down, and then you just adjust the rear feet just so they're just taking the weight. Yeah, just a reminder that if you have one, make sure you've put those in before you try and install the air conditioner. I found out the hard way. Right, let's get these tightened down, make sure it's leak free. So that's it installed now, nice and solid. So let's see. I can't see because of the sun, but if you can, those are the feet that now need to be wound down, screwed down, and they'll just touch the roof to secure the back end of the air conditioner. But what I need to do now is put a hole, or 2 holes actually, through here, and put some grommets in and then run the cables down. So I will do that now. So that's the holes drilled, and now we've just got to add the cables up. And I've painted where the holes are drilled for the cables, so I just need to wait for that to dry. So that's going to be tomorrow's job. So I think we'll finish this episode here, and then tomorrow we'll be finishing up the cables, installing the unit up here, connecting it all up and testing it and seeing just how good it is. So thanks for watching. Do subscribe, come back tomorrow and have a look at the next episode, and hopefully we've got a working air conditioner. Right, see you soon. Bye for now. So we're back on the air conditioner this morning, and just connected up the control panel. So either at the garage or by my mishandling, I've broken off a connector on the wires. It's only a little 2-pin connector, just plugs in there, but I've just got a little adapter that I've just made up to fix that little problem. Silly boy. And I made a huge boo-boo yesterday, and I was almost too embarrassed to show it, but I'm going to have to do it. So when I was drilling the hole for the power cable, I made the biggest mistake you can imagine. Yes, I forgot that I'd put the fabric on the inside of the roof, so when I drilled the hole through, the drill just picked up the fabric and ripped it to pieces. Ah, dear. Anyway, I'm about to drop something here. Hang on. Fortunately, what I have is my new dome light, and that just, by the time I just fiddle up the edges, is going to disguise that, thank goodness. And the other thing that I've just realised, which I was complaining about yesterday, is that I hadn't pushed this headliner back far enough into this plastic channel, which is designed to hold this edge. And I've just realised that the cabling for the air conditioner, which I'm going to make a channel for here, of course, because there's the holes for it coming down, will actually fit into that plastic channel and be hidden. And then I could just put a disguising strip over the top of it, or get a piece of thin wood or whatever and wrap it in the same headlining material, and then just fix that up in here. So I think that's going to solve the problem, but what a mess. Oh dear, I could have cried last night because I put so much effort into the headliner and then just messed it up like that. Anyway, right, so the unit that goes over the top is here. That's just held on with 4 little dome bolts that hold on to these threads. I've just measured it up and there is just the right amount of thread there. Sorry, where am I? Just the right amount of thread there for the dome bolts to fit and pull everything tight. Now, one thing I am going to go and check is how, because the vent itself is full of holes, I'm not sure whether or not I can see this rather messy edge that we've got here and here. So what I might do, depending on how it looks, is get a bit more of this roof fabric and then just make a piece that's going to fit inside there. Don't know whether I'm going to do that just at the moment, but that's a possibility if I need to. Anyway, let's see what it looks like when it goes back up there, and then make a decision based on that. Right, that's the next job. Okay, so getting ready to install the cables. Now, this was supplied with conduit already trapped around it, obviously for protection, but because I'm running this inside channel already, I'm actually going to remove the conduit to make these a little bit thinner, and also shorten them as well, because we don't need the complete length it's given us. I think they've given us about 4 meters, but maybe 5 meters. Don't need them that long to get down to the battery box. So I'll get these installed at the compressor, these ends here at the compressor end, run the cables through, measure up how much we need, and then cut them accordingly, and then put some new fittings on the end. I've got a tool for doing that somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to feed these through, get up on top of the roof there and get these connected, and then we can start powering it up and seeing what happens. Fingers crossed. So that's the cables out of the sheath. It's actually supplied with a blade fuse. Don't know what these are called. Anyway, so I'm just going to disconnect from this end and just leave that red wire there intact. And then I'll just put another termination on there, just losing the whole lot. Put that screw back in there just so we can retain it. And then I'll just shorten that cable as needed. And we'll put this into the positive buzz bar. And that will get that. So these are designed to take about 60 amps under maximum airflow, maximum cooling. So we'll measure that on the Victron Smart Shunt when we get it connected up, just to make sure we're pulling it all. And that just needs the cabling put in now. So I'm going to get up on the roof now and connect them all up. Okay, so up on the roof, and this is the positive connected up. I'm just going to do the negative, and then I've got rubber grommets. So as it goes through the roof, the holes in the roof down here, I've got rubber grommets, and then that's all going to be Sikaflexed up once it's all in place. So I'll just get these done, remembering when I took them off I needed a wrench, so I'm going to tighten them up nice and tightly on the with the wrench, and then I can put this cover back on. And I think that's about all we need to do up to the top here. So let's get this done. Let's get down there and see what happens when I connect it all up. So cables are all routed. They went down in that channel as I thought they would at the back there. I just need to sort that mess out. Do that in a minute. So everything else is set up. That's the temperature sensor there. Not sure where it's located, but presumably somewhere up here. Right, moment of truth. Please work. Oh, okay. Well, we've got something. Right, maybe time to get the instruction manual out. Okay, so that's there. Fan 2. Temperature. I have to go and read this. So what are these? Okay, oh, that's the air conditioning, so doing something. Oh, it helps us, but oh, blimey. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of air. And it's very cold. Blimey, I did not expect that. I mean, the noise from it, is, of course, is basically just the fact that it's blowing a lot of air. It's like a fan on full blast. But that is very cold. Okay. Right, I'm going to get my thermometer out and just see what this is doing. But that's pretty impressive so far. So that's the system working at the top end here, and it's adjusting temperatures downstairs in the cab area. You can hear it varying speeds. The pipes, oh yeah, that's very cold. So it's doing something anyway. I'll just go and just check the currents that it's drawing as well. But that's quite impressive. Yeah, that's mildly warm air coming out. It's not a hot day today, so I'm not actually. Just as it's reducing temperature, the fan just slows down, and that actually just kicked off. That's why. So yeah, it seems to be doing what it's intended to be doing. So let's go and check down below again, and we'll just see how much current it's drawing when it's actually kicking in. So I had it running for quite a bit now. I think the problem we've got today is it's just not warm enough for the AC to be running absolutely full blast. So if I do warm the sensor up, I can get it to kick into high. But we've got really bright sunshine, so I'm competing with the amps that the solar system's putting in, which is around 10 amps. So if that's the case, of full blast, this seems to be running about 35 amps. But it varies a lot. So it goes up and down to about 17, 15, presumably as the temperatures cool down inside the evaporator. So it's very cold air coming out. But as I say, I'm limited by the fact that we're only about 15-16 degrees air temperature today. But I need to test this again when it's a bit warmer. But so far, I am very, very impressed, especially for the money. They're on AliExpress. There's a link in the description. At the moment, they've got a bit of a deal on by the looks of it, which is, I think, 40 or 50 euros off. So the net price is about 380 euros. If you're in the UK, you'll have to check what the prices are over there. But for the amount of money it cost me, I am mightily impressed. Anyway, I'm just going to get this a lot tidied up a little bit, and we'll get the roof the cover back on and tidy it all up and finish up. But I hope this has been helpful. It's a bit of a short video today just to show you the final testing. But if you're in the market for one of these, and as I said yesterday in yesterday's video, now's the time to do it. Don't leave it until it's 35 degrees. You've got to be sitting on the roof there cutting holes and sweating. Now's the time to think about getting one installed if that's what you want. But as far as this is concerned, it's a winner. Right. Oh, not sponsored in any way, shape or form, by the way. This is all my own money that's been spent buying this, so I've got no skin in the game. Anyway, I'll leave that there and catch up with you on the next one. Thanks for watching. So as you can tell, just in the van at the moment, just finishing off the curtains, but I thought I'd just put the AC on and just see how it's performing. So this is the Chinese 12 volt air conditioning unit. So I've just got my little gauge, measure 20, so what's that about? stabilise, will you? Right, so that's somewhere between 14 and 15 degrees, the air coming out of the unit. If I just check the temperature of the seats there, they're 25, they're actually in the airflow. The dashboard itself is a lovely 47 degrees, as you can tell, hot and sunny outside. So yeah, I'm very, so the cab area is about 25 degrees, but the air temperature coming out is about 15, and that's on, the fan is on position 4, not 5. Now what am I doing in terms of current? I will have to use a different app for that, but that's pulling 650 watts and just under 50 amps. So yeah, the battery will last a long time, especially if I've switched the solar off at the moment. I just wanted to test it without solar, but if I switch the solar on, then that will obviously compensate for a part of it. So that should give me about 400 watts on max with the state of the solar panels. So yeah, I'm very happy with the air conditioner. I say that cost about 300, I forget what it was, 340, 350 euros, and then I think I paid 60 odd euros to have it filled with gas. So not bad for the money. Very happy with that one. Right, I will be back soon, because we're just finishing off the nets for the doorway.